Hooded cloaked creature caught controlling an orb on security camera. Watch where the hand is pointing, a moving shadow will pop on the wall. Here, an orb comes down through the ceiling from the attic, almost speeds past the camera, then as if it notices it, and stops. Then acting surprised zooms under the blankets where my son is sleeping. After slowing down the video once again, and using the embezzle effect, helps draw out features otherwise not seen, shows a surprised face expression on the orb, and over to the right of the room next to the camera is a hooded cloak figure looking as if he is directing the orb, telling it what to do. I've outlined its shape. You can see that its moving hands was what made the shadow on the wall at the beginning of the video. What I did here was delete the background by using chroma effect, leaving some moving figures we couldn't see before. The one to the left is causing the one in the middle of screen to change its appearances, as if it's trying to morph into my son's face. A couple times it comes real close, which is hard to show you on here, but watching it frame by frame we can see the resemblance as it goes through its phases of using different hats, adding sunglasses, and so on. You can also see the cloaked figure opening and closing its puppet-looking mouth. Using chroma effect again here, I didn't take the background out but strengthened the situation, helping to see the invisible orb entity better. Using a snapshot of the orb, I cartooned it and outlined the images. Taking another snapshot of the orb, inverting it and adding different colors helps to see even more. In this shot the orb comes down from the ceiling from the attic once again. You can see movements of pixels from all around the room. These dark hooded cloaked entities are everywhere and range in different sizes. I've mostly seen them in the yard, but I believe these beings are where the Grim Reaper legend came from. I've captured more than a few of them in my yard's bushes, and I've shown them to you in one of my past videos of Hollywood putting their statues in the background of movie scenes. I've highlighted a few images among the many different images they use to blend themselves in with. It makes it hard to tell which one is the real one. Looking at some home security footage, there are so many of orbs they are all you can see, but if you were outside, you wouldn't be able to see any at all. Only by using a camera lens are we able to see them. They're invisible to the naked eye. This is a normal clear night. There was no rain or snow, and these are not insects. Almost every night for over a year, it was like this. It took us weeks to figure out what we were seeing. At first we thought it was bugs, even though we never saw any, but when it turned winter and was 9 degrees outside, we know for sure it wasn't insects. After giving it a closer look, we could see larger, slower, or faster ones, moving against the rest, zigzagging around objects, and some going right into or coming out through the lens of the cameras. On days where there was just a few now and then, they'd fly straight down from the sky into the ground or come up from the ground. They'd also go through our brick walls. Some would even hover in air. And to make this even more unbelievable, these orbs are magical creatures themselves. Recently, I discovered some in the hedges. One floated by hopping from leaf to leaf, and as it landed on each leaf, it sprouted legs, arms, and a body. It looked exactly like the planter's peanut man minus the hat and cane. If you pause the screen now and again you can see the different images these orbs create. Usually it's a large face, some of you might even see several smaller faces. I couldn't get it to show up on here, but there seems to be a portal opening between the tree and street where we can see the figures coming and going. There's also some kind of podium with a figure that stands there the whole time. You can kind of see him moving around. After adjusting the video's color and brightness when using a different filter, I managed to downplay the orb somewhat in order to see what's behind it. Not only do faces appear to cover half the page, but we can see figures moving around, but only after slowing the video down multiple times. Watch how one image will appear and move to 3 different areas, then it'll be gone. You almost have to watch it frame by frame to get a really good look, which is the effect I'm trying to achieve here. This is footage of the backyard. The object in the middle to the right is a garbage can. The pole line is a tripod. To the left is a 12 by 15 stone statue base. Watch where the coloring is darker. These are the creatures popping in and out of view. Because they're invisible to our naked eye, but can be been using a camera lens, makes me think they are traveling on radio waves. What do you think? I also think that because sometimes we can see movement in the corner of our eyes, but there's nothing there when we turn and look at it dead on. I know that my dogs can see them. Our German Shepherd can be viscous when it wants to, but he won't go outside by himself anymore, and we can see him looking at things and growling when nothing's there. I have him on video, watching an orb fly from our kitchen down the hallway, and they must mess with him, because you'll see him standing there, and suddenly he'll jump as if something touched his tail. These orbs fly up and down from the sky and ground. Some go fast and some are slower. Some even glow as if they're lit up like a light. They fly in loops, and look, these other two almost crash into each other. Watch it again in slower motion. See how it slows down to prevent crashing into another like these two intersecting. Then it turns and goes up towards the house's roof. Did you miss this one in the first clip? We also seem to notice a bright flashing light coming from the spot where the orb came from. This isn't just a single event. We've seen the spark of light followed by an orb many times on video. This next orb looks as if it's floating upwards, but you're actually seeing the creature walk to the right. You can see his feet taking steps. Here it is again, only zoomed in, and the color enhanced. It looks like it catches the orb that was thrown from the bushes, swaps hands, and releases it down towards the ground. And here it is untouched without the enhancements. I wanted to show you this example of what the orbs can do also. Well, how the whitish area is an image of a large head, but down to the bottom left side of screen in green is an image that changes into other images, and you can sometimes see the creatures moving that make up the images. There is also crafts zipping out from the right side of the whitish area that are partially visible. On some days we'll get 1 or 2 orbs at a time. On other days there's so many we can't see past them into the yard, which is what I'm showing you now. The side camera is full of orbs, while the front only a few, in the back looks clear. Seems unbelievable this is happening at the same time. It looks like rain or even snow, but I assure you it's not neither. Nor is it bugs, and it's like this all year round. See how the orbs move right up and into the camera? How they come down so fast they look like streaks of rain, while others fly in groups. Watch for the ones flying through the stakes. When you see something like this, it's either an invisible creature or an invisible craft. Pausing the footage and or moving it frame per frame helps you see the images and objects otherwise not seen. Watch which way the orb streaks tilt. They don't all land in the same direction. Look at how some of the lightning strikes stay in a confined area. When you see the orbs thick and blurry flash by, it's usually an object, either another creature going by, or a craft, disturbing the orb's flow. Something seems to be blocking this orb's light. Whatever it is, they made it look like a giant extending his arm and grabbing it with his hand. This is a great shot of the orbs on security footage. When you pause the screen off and on, the images are more visible. So are the invisible creatures, as the orbs outline their form. One morning around 6 a.m. this was on the security camera. Looking out the window, we saw nothing like this in the bushes. It only appeared on the camera lens. It's not just a glare, as you can see it when I put the negative effect on it. Zooming in closer, there is a reflection on what looks like a window. Could this be a parked UFO? Look at the faint circular shadow-like image underneath it. This is what it looked like the next day, at the same time of 6 a.m. Then around 10 a.m. the UFO circle of light was gone, but the smoky section hovered on the same spot until noon, when it dissipated.